Hello, testing, 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 testing. Hello, testing, testing. All right. Testing, testing. All right. So I am new to this, and what I do is I create art in Midjourney, and that's a big discussion that I'm pretty sure we'll get into later of whether a Midjourney is considered art or not, and whether I'm an artist or a creator or whatever, what have you. I believe that when you create with an AI on Midjourney, you are still considered an artist, much in the way that when the electric guitar first came around and Bob Dylan was switched from acoustic to electric, they thought, that's just noise. You're not really an artist. And then the next generation of children grew up only hearing electric guitars, and then everybody plays the electric guitar, and now it's the staple of rock and roll. I think the same thing can be applied to movies. So people say that Marvel movies and superhero movies are trash. They'll never be The Godfather, right? But the people who grew up watching The Godfather, those people, that's their movie. But people who grew up watching Iron Man from the age they were 4, that's their movie. So I believe that kids who grow up with this tool, they're very much going to consider this an art form. This is how they're going to get their clothing designed. This is how they're going to design their shoes. This is how they're going to, AI is going to be how they're going to do their homework. Well, the smart ones anyway. So as you can see, I have a messy desktop, and this is my first stream of my life, ever. So I'm going to spend this time just cleaning up my desktop, and then I kind of got something going on Instagram, so I'll post in my description that and in my stories that I'm creating, and then I'll take a look at some of the work on Community Feed, and then I'll show you my process. It's kind of a mess, but I'll show you my process of creating, and then we'll look at my Instagram page, and I'll show you the things that I'm doing, and I'll explain to you what my vision is for my page and what I'm trying to do. and then I'll show you some pages of what I'd like to get to. And yeah, so this part's probably not going to be too interesting. I literally have like no viewers because I've just turned it on for the first time ever. So yeah, I'm going to clean up my desktop, and yeah, it's going to be a slow process. interdimensional cable. That's my backup IG. So pretty much anything that I like that's like not really in a theme that I can post, I'll throw it in there. That one's kind of trashy. See, it's cool, but it's not really anything. Yeah, these are interesting. When I made these, I got a bunch of these ones. These are cool, but the thing is, this is before I knew how to pull the camera back, so they're all like body, mid-body headshots, even though there's some really cool ones. I think I already posted it. And I have a bunch of website demos. Like even if someone on the on a newbie channel, if they make a cool website, I just download it because you can post it online. And then there's thumbnails I made for YouTube. And there's also commissions. I've gotten like 2 gigs. So let's see, these go original cable. Alright. Wow. See, I got 1 new follower. Nice to meet you. My name's Rod. I work at Midjourney. And I create like new Midjourney posts on my Instagram. If you check me out, my Instagram is Robot Sex Organs. You can see the work that I've done. And yeah, I'll go through it a little later. What is this guy eating sushi? Yeah. And my Instagram is way more interesting than this because I'm just getting started doing Twitch. So I've already posted some of these, and then references too, or image prompts. Do that. Image prompts, which is that one, that one, that one, this dude. Yeah, I'll make another folder for posted. I'll have to go through again. Posted websites. Cable. This came out really good. Ooh, yeah, Lizard Man posted that one. That's Sarah. She has her own folder. That is a reference. Let's clean up. These are different projects, so I'll say that's a good one. Current projects, or just projects. I'm on Sci-Fi 4. I'll take you through all these a little later. Icons, that would be commissions. I don't even know what this is. This is something I'm working on. Oops. Sure. Just to be positive. Where's collapse? Oh crap, I lost the collapse already. OCT. this is a good one. Stuff to learn. It's a tutorial or instructions. Knowledge. Knowledge. So this picture, I think this is it. This is like my greatest creation. It took me like 2 days straight of trying to make a picture look like this. It's so simple. It's just an ad. It's just a lady sitting in the back of a car, like some stupid ad, but I created my own version of it and it took forever. Like if you just saw the process of what it took for me to make this picture, then you can create like anything. Most people will never get that. I don't even know where to put it. I'll just leave it in its own. I'll just leave it out. It's too perfect. Trash bag fashion. Already posted these. They're all different. So one of them is posted. This one's posted. This one's backup page. I think it's this one. It's posted. And this is a backup page version. This one's backup page. This is the first rendition of my commission. Yeah, image, prompt, perfection. I think I took a screenshot of that. Image prompt. Image prompt. Image prompt. Image prompt. I don't think I created that one. Website. Image prompt. Mongolia. go in. It's a screenshot, so probably just delete it, and I'll go dig in and grab the real one, use as my background. Alright, almost there. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Go fix my laundry real quick. Alright. Alright. Let's see what we got. Alright, so this is my page. It's been growing pretty fast. It's only been like not even 3 weeks. I've been doing about a post a night. My biggest post, I got like almost 500. I think it was this one, 554. And this happened in like a day. And I met a lot of people in the community. and they say like, one post can like change your whole page. So just, and that's kind of what Mr. Beast was saying. Like, it's just about the content. So I'll start from the beginning. So this is the first picture that I made on Midjourney with Puffy AI. That's my friend. I'll give her a call in a bit. She has a great Australian accent. Alright, so I'll show you my page, my personal page. And I'll show you how I did it. So this is me. My name is Roderick. I live in Venice. I worked for Jesse when he was part of Full Send. And yeah, I'm just kind of doing whatever, trying to make money for my computer so I can travel the world. And I stumbled upon Midjourney. So I took this picture, right? Sexy me. There's Tom. There's Puffy AI right there in the background. I took this picture, I threw it into Midjourney, and I typed in cyberpunk. See, different than most people, I post my prompts. So this picture I put in, what you do is you go to, I'll show you how to do it in a bit. What you do is you take a picture, right? You take like a screenshot of the whole picture, and then you go to Midjourney, and then you upload the image prompt, and then you type in something to it, and then whatever you type in, that's what it'll do to the picture. So what I did is I did image prompt GTA 5 cartoon, comma, cyberpunk, stylized 1000. And this is what it gave me. This is literally like the first thing I made. I was just like, wow, okay, I'm hooked. So I use this as my profile picture. Give that a like. This guy's crazy. There's like a couple of these dudes that like, I don't know what they do. They're just tripping out on AI and they write like crazy like sermons and stuff on your comments, like rants. So that was my first picture. And I always, if you need prompt help, just message me on Instagram, and I'll chat you up and tell you what I do, because I'm very transparent about it, because although people are like, oh, it's not art, I do believe it's art, but I do believe that, and because it's art, and I think everybody makes different stuff, so if I show you my stuff, you're not going to come out with the same product. You're going to come out with something completely different. It's just how you talk to the AI, which makes a difference. This was my second attempt. Imagine prompt, wearable tech, high fashion, Fifth Element, movie, stylized 1000. Yep, see, same dude. He even says the exact same comment. So yeah, let's give him a like. Next, Batman, but it's the stuff of nightmares. Pretty creepy. This one, I had a friend, and she just sent me some random stuff to put in there. So I literally just copied and pasted what she put in. It's just some randomness. And that's what came out. This one was actually from the community feed. This isn't mine. There's a couple, before I started making my own stuff like regularly, there's a couple where I just posted like really good ones. So can't take credit for this one. But I've seen a lot of people take this image prompt and do something else with it. This is another one, same. It's really cool. So I think what I did is I maybe upscaled a version of it and then just took that version. This was, my friend's mom wanted to design clothes for a film that they're working on, and I just typed in random cyberpunk stuff. And this is another one where I upscaled a version of it. It was really cool. Alien computer, it stores energy, transparent gel capsules under the console. It's fucking weird, man. And these ones are interesting because it's just like you type in one word and just let the computer do its thing. future, right? You ask an AI future, what do you got? This is what it fucking came up with. Like, what the fuck? Okay, and then another one, future. This is another version. Super weird. This is another cool one I upscaled from the feed. Or just a tiny little. I like how it's so intricate. I don't even know what this means. What is this? Mechatronics, you know what? It's dope. This is that same picture, but I put plasticine. That same picture, but I saw someone mess with plasticine where it makes you look all weird, and I think it's because I did stylize like 1,000 or something. It just went weird. This is fucking strange. It's kind of horrifying, but interesting at the same time. This, I was really trying to, like, create something. I was still learning with the app. I was learning about textures and cameras and trying to figure out how to make like really clear pictures. So, glamour portrait of a gorgeous futuristic cyberpunk cyborg woman looking like Angela Baby in style of Marcin Nagreba and Tim Flack wearing intricate haute couture clothing. I find that's a good keyword for clothing, like you want fancy clothes or something detailed. Haute couture. I've learned a lot about fashion and like camera types just doing this. Let's see. Wearable jewelry and headpiece. Yeah, that headpiece makes a difference too. I think this is a typo, but when you just leave in the typo, it comes up with some weird stuff. Shapes flying around. Futuristic building in the background, dark cyan, orange tones, dramatic lighting, no text, sharp focus. No, see these guys? Don't ever have them pay you to repost your stuff because they'll spam you with bots, and then if Instagram sees that, then you put your account in jeopardy. Don't want to get caught botting. Lose all your hard work. It's not worth it. You don't actually get any follows because they buy their followers too. So they'll have like, here, look at tangent. Look at that. He'll have like that many posts, that many followers, but he'll have like 10 likes, or maybe no likes on a picture. Like, what? And this is a cool, look at that image prompt. 5,500. It just says an old man. I thought that was interesting. Like, what? And let's see, this one. So I saw someone did an old biker one from the 60s. I was like, okay, well, what if I just do the same prompt, but I change maybe the time? So the only thing I changed in this prompt I saw was 1930s gangster. Hold on. Since I'm in it now, my desktop doesn't look like trash. Give me a second. I'm going to post on my IG. Maybe get some people in here. Let's see. Is my Twitch. How do I find my Twitch account? Hold on, let me get some double feedback for a minute. Stream manager, share stream, copy. saying I should create. Watch me create Midjourney art live on Twitch. I should see. Tutorials, tips, tricks. Tutorials, tips, prompts. Yeah, that should do it. Alright. Okay. Let's create a story. Alright, almost done. Alright. Okay, let's see. Alright, so where was I? Alright. I just posted reel and see if that has any effect. Okay. So this one, like I was saying, this was an old. It said it was the same prompt, but it said 1960s biker lady or biker woman, and I changed it to 1930s gangster, and everything was the same. And I thought that was interesting. It came out really good. They gave like a specific type of film. I thought this was really good. It gives it this really old, grainy perspective, but it's super detailed. It looks real. I thought that was cool. So I was thinking, I was like, okay, if I can do that, I'm going to jump ahead. Because I did all these, but I was like, what if I could use this for other stuff? So I used this, and I created this guy. I was like, what if I go in the other direction? So I did the same thing, but I did Cyborg Man, Machine, and then I remember seeing something like on the feed about hypermetamorphosis. And hypermetamorphosis, that gives you this like where like it's almost like the machine is growing out of him, or like it's part of him. And so, but you got to put it in the front, and it goes with cyborg, man, machine, hypermetamorphosis. Like it understands this order because I had a friend, she was just putting hypermetamorphosis in other places, and it wasn't coming out. Like it wasn't getting it. Like you have to specify that, and you have to be very clear with what you're saying. Otherwise, it's not going to understand it. So Otherwise, if you look, it's literally like the same. It's even that old grainy font. It looks like even almost like the same dude, but he's just like a robot dude with a mohawk and tattoos from the future instead. So anyway, then there was this one. I was just experimenting. I was working on cyborgs, trying to make it look like they're growing metal. And this one came out really pretty, but you know, it still looks like a video game. So I was wondering like how I can make it look more realistic. I don't know why. Everybody's obsessed with realism even though this is like super fake. And I guess I saw, I don't know where I was just creating. And I came up with this woman. There's actually a couple of them. You know, and if you look close, they still got this cartoony kind of detail, like this painting detail to them. But from far away, they look like real women. Like they're just shiny. And I have a couple of them. And I'll probably post these on my backup page. I think I posted a couple. And then this one's really interesting. So I did Thanos. And it literally, like, it understood the assignment perfectly. Like, I did Thanos in the style of soft white underbelly. And if you know that, like, here, look. I'll show you. YouTube.com. I have super slow internet. So what soft white underbelly does is he does these like interviews. I saw he was on Joe Rogan. He's talking about his process. So he does like the pretty much the underbelly of life. All right, like people that you just don't want to like run across at night or feel really bad for. And if you go, and when he does, all his thumbnails are like these white and black and white grayscale pictures. Are like these crazy people, and they do these interviews in natural light. You know, some of them are really sad, or some of them are murderers. Yeah, like what man pulls a gun on a YouTuber? Got it. So yeah, so I was like, okay, well this is Midjourney. So my friend made a good point. She said in Midjourney, people try to make like realistic stuff. Oh, there's me again. They try to make realistic stuff, but it's like, why? Like you can literally make anything you can think of. So I did. What if I did? Make anything you can think of. Oh, hold on. Double feedback. I'm getting spammed already. It's crazy. All right, so yeah, this is more for spam. Yes. So I did Thanos in that style, and it totally got the assignment right. Like some of them look kind of weird, but some of them look dope. Like this one came out perfectly. It's like Thanos if he was like fucking a meth dealer living in Fresno. This is just more like a statue. And that one looks like Kratos. It looks like Kratos soft white underbelly photo. But yeah, that first one, literally, it was perfect. Like I couldn't have asked for a better render. It's one of my favorites. And next, I don't know. I was just really trying to find what I liked about these pictures, what I like creating. I wasn't really sure, you know, but I'm starting very quickly, within like a week. My friend and I noticed that it's like a lot of the same stuff. It's a lot of the same pictures, right? Like it's just beautiful faces, you know what I mean, or like superheroes, or you know, bright colored, but it's kind of the same thing. Like this whole editorial zoom headshot, that's what the computer, that's what the AI defaults to. So you see so many versions of this. And how many times can you look at a human face? You know, and people are doing some creative stuff with it, but still. You know, so I was still trying to find out what I liked. And we already looked at this picture. And another interesting thing about this is I did an experiment. I created a reel because I've seen someone do it. Because if you do Instagram Reels, they show it to more people based on how many, what watch percentage people have. All right, and it did really good as a reel. Right, like it just they got to that number like within like a day, like super fast. Like these are really powerful. But this is just an experiment. And I decided I'm not going to do every picture like this because it's kind of like cheating, you know what I mean? Because it's a picture, and if you click on it or look at it for 5 seconds, then I have like 60% watch time on my video. So it's not really, it's kind of like manipulating the system. Um, so this picture, this is interesting. So I used 2 image prompts. I used an astronaut suit. I'm not sure which one, but I did here. Check this out. Hideo Kojima Instagram. So if you like Metal Gear Solid, then you know who Hideo Kojima is. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. But I was just scrolling, and he's on my feed, you know, I'm following him. So I saw this picture, and it just reminded me of like Metal Gear Solid, but like if it was like a movie. And I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what he's filming. This guy, he never really like, or maybe because I don't speak Japanese, but I can never really tell like what he's doing. You know what I mean? There's always some crazy stuff going on. And, like, what does he say? Nothing. There's like no comment. Let's see. Where's it at? That wasn't even the one. There was a better one where there's like a whole line of these soldier things in that same white room. I know I took a screenshot of it, but I'd like to find the post so I can show you. There you go, it's these guys. Like, what? From Sapiens to Ludens? I don't know what, I have no idea what this is. He's just really, looks really interesting. That's like a real dude. Like, someone really designed this. Right? Like, this guy's awesome. Like, I don't even know what he does anymore. I think he makes like action figures because he's living off that Metal Gear Solid money. I have no idea. But so what I did is I took that picture, and then I took a picture of an astronaut or a woman or something, and then I threw it in with my prompt. And image 1, image 2, high fashion editorial. I think I had a high fashion editorial that I liked, and like that's why it has these like slashes instead of like a comma or a plus sign. Oh, by the way, if you use brackets and then a plus sign, you can combine prompts. I haven't actually tried it yet, but apparently you can literally combine 2 prompts. And I'll get to that later, probably tonight when I create. I'll show you how I use Seed because it's really complicated. But once you learn how to use Seed, you can upgrade and combine like photos. So anyway, and this one was interesting. So what I did was, this one was crazy. So it was a guy, from, it said 1860s poor farmer from France, and it was like this old picture, but it was like a dude. And then what I did was I was like, all right, well, how can I make it more interesting? So I started thinking maybe I can make like a robot from the future. So yeah, this is. So my friend just liked my reel. Hey Tom, if you're watching this, what's up? Are you my one viewer? Okay. So next, I had an idea. I still haven't been able to get this idea. Of like an AI, like a robot, like a cyborg, but in a backyard barbecue. But like the type of cyborg in the other one, where it's like this detailed, crazy skin, hyper metamorphosis dude just sitting at a table. But like in the 70s, it just didn't understand that, like, you know. So I tried some weird stuff. I was just experimenting. So I get a candid family photo of advanced AI humanoid robots and humans having fun together, interacting with each other at a summer backyard barbecue pool party. Happy 2070s style. Like what? Multiple humanoid robots, multiple people, children and adults, Technicolor old movie film grain scars, smoking cigarette and imperfections, film lighting, photorealistic, blah blah blah. Yeah, camera. This is more about lighting and the camera. But so, I honestly I think it ignores like 80% of this. It just ignores and it just takes what it can understand and then tries to give you a picture. And usually, that's interesting enough for you to go, okay, render. Like there's a couple of these. Like I have some of these that are really crappy. Like when I go through my profile, because I really need to organize my profile. It looks like a mess. There's so much stuff, but apparently you can organize them. I'll organize them into the same folders I have in Midjourney. It's going to take forever, but it'll help me when I need to go back and find prompts because it's getting kind of out of hand now. All right, and then there is this one. So I follow this person called AI Directress, and she makes really crazy looking like shoes. It would like Nikes hanging from Christmas trees and stuff. But there's like lights and shapes and colors, and they all have like this color scheme. So I chatted her up and I asked her how to make shoes, and it took a while to get it to actually look like this, which is still not even what I was trying to create, but it was good enough for me to be like, all right, that's cool. So I used this Nike Air Mag Back to the Future one for the reference. These shoes are like super expensive. And then I was just super detailed. And also what helped was, I don't know if you've ever changed your settings, but you can change your settings to HD, and that helps. I'll show you how to do that. Alright, while it's loading. So, yeah, and then eventually it came out with a decent shoe, but literally, like, it took me hours, like 2 or 3 hours of doing this. Look at this guy, same comment. Yeah. Keep it coming, buddy. I love the engagement, though. It's kind of weird, but give me the engagement. Look at this. Look at this. This was before I don't even have that many followers. It's not like I have like 1 million followers. Like this dude just picked my page. Or maybe he does it to everybody. I don't know. And this one. I just thought it'd be cool to see an old lady with tats. And it came out really good. Use that same camera. I haven't really gone through and looked at a lot of these comments, which I probably should. But a lot of them are spam like this. So, that's how these good ones get lost in the shuffle. But anyway, this one came out good. So I made this probably like way back here, but I was still trying to find an overall theme. And I was getting tired of posting like headshots, So, anyway, this one also. This is an older one I had. I was still trying to figure out what I was going to want to do, but it was another 2 images, and then I typed in 5500, and it came out with this, which is pretty amazing. It looks real. It looks like a movie ad. I don't know what the goo is on her face, but it just looks great. It doesn't look like blood or anything. Just weird. Oh, look, the person that's been putting all those comments says my work is weak. They've seen much better. This guy. But he followed me, so thank you. Anywho, so this is a big changing point for me. So normally when I have everything posted, these 3 are in a row. Like I always think about the overall aesthetic of the page. So these 3 will be in a row because they're the same. And then these 3 will be in a row. But I'm in the process of posting, so I still have 2 more posts in a series. See, I do everything in threes, so they line up 1, 2, 3. So anyway, this was the turning point. And what I did is I was just scrolling, and I spent a lot of time just looking at what I like. And I think these pages kind of help me decide like what I like. Like what it is about AI art that I like. So I won't read it, but I'll just go through and I'll show you their profiles because they're really interesting. Well, I think, everybody has their own taste, but so we'll start with this guy. This dude's awesome. Like, I want to do a collab with him. Like, we've been working on a collab, but his theme just screams John Carpenter action movie, right? Like, I don't know what he uses. Like, oh man, like I have no idea. But just the level of creativity and the fact that you can create like scenes that feel real but they still are surreal. That's amazing, right? Like, look at that. Like, what do you type into the prompt to get this? Like, that's so freaking amazing. He's actually, I've talked to him a lot and he's given me a lot of tips, like a lot of tips on like keywords, like smoke and haze. It's using certain director types to get a certain aesthetic, and I think that's really made it change. That really influenced me. And then the next one, the AI directress. So she's like an OG in the game. Like, she has entire color schemes. Like, she'll do entire posts that have like the same color scheme, and she'll only stick to those. She's killing it with followers, killing it with likes. So like, yeah. Let me go back. Look at these. Look at this shoe picture. Like, what? Like, how? Like, how? What she taught me is probably, I was going to show you guys is, so you go into here and you do /settings. Now you can change your version of Midjourney. I think the older one, and then you can probably get away with some blood or whatever. I don't know if the moderator checks it, but now I have to use the tomato sauce splatter workaround. I have no idea what Niji mode is. Some dude taught me in a tutorial, but I forgot. It's also with test photo. I don't use these, but she had me turn it from base quality to high quality. But what it does is it uses 2 times the amount of hours. So if you're on a new account or you're paying the minimum subscription, you'll run out of hours very fast. So what I did is I changed to relaxed mode. And changing to relaxed mode, I can generate as many pictures as I want, and I don't have to worry about losing fast hours. I haven't messed with the style, high, low, or medium. I just stylize in the picture because I'm not too sure about what these do. So I don't want to mess with them and then totally mess up my, like, I found a workflow that works. It kind of works for me. And if you notice, a lot of these are like the same prompts, but I'll make see, these are even the same picture. This is the same seed picture, but I'll make like a minor adjustment here, or I'll change the text a little bit. So it'll take that same picture, but it'll render it with a different, different, outcome because I changed something minor in it. It'll tweak it a little bit. So anywho, so yeah, she also has really good color schemes. Look at that. Honestly, I don't even wear Nikes, but like the fact that she can make these ads, this is a powerful tool. Like, she can totally get a job making shoes for Nike or making ads for Nike. Like, what? Like, that's so clever. And then yeah, these color schemes. There's a yellow and a black one that's really cool. Let me scroll back. See the color? Like, that's cool. Right? Like, the whole vibe of the page changes as you scroll. I thought that was extremely creative, and it inspired me later, and I'll get to that. So as we move on, then there's Tanglewood's Goods. So another world builder has his own vibe. They don't just make pictures; they make like these movie scenes. And that's what inspired me, like the people that I put on that list. Like, there's usually something about them, like, this is freaking amazing. Like, they have to see this in their head or something like it and then type it in. And then I'm pretty sure maybe sometimes it's not even exactly what you want, but the end result, like, you tweak it and you change it. You know what I mean? Like, these are very creative. Like, I would really love to see this dude's page. Like, and just scroll and see all the stuff that he didn't post, because this stuff is really cool. Alright. Very creative. And I say that because I was looking on the feed yesterday and I've seen some pages where, like, there's no creativity. Like, this dude might have had Asperger's or something. It was just a picture of just his face. It was just him trying to merge pictures, but that was all of them. Like, there was nothing, no creativity, no venturing out. And yeah. So then there's this lady, and she has this, like, it's like an old camera, like still. And this was like the first picture that got me. Like, she can recreate family photos from like the 90s and the 80s. Like, what? And this is also where I started to first notice, like, fucking Midjourney can't do hands for shit. I use Dolly to fix my hands, and I'll show you that later. But these are really, really cool. Looks like someone with a camera. Look at that. How to survive AI. Living with AI. ChatGPT cures cancer. So I feel like she's like does Photoshop too. Enter the Midjourney. Like, I feel like she does like Photoshop to do this part, because when you do Midjourney, usually it's just like blah 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 blah, like a fucking alien writing. Look at right here. So this shit's super creative. This is probably some of the best, like the best post like ever. You can't, like, how creative could you can't beat this. All right, and then let's see what else we got. Machine graphics. Oh, this dude, I've talked to this guy too. He's a photographer. He's got that like street photography thing unlocked. But look, he's not even afraid to change his style. Like, you find something you like and then you go with it. Not limiting yourself. So got the whole post-apocalyptic Barbarella vibe going. Got the rich Jews in New York. And then the girl in ramen, like, just weird shit. But it looks like someone just literally has a Polaroid or a nice camera, older camera, but a nice camera. Like, that's really creative. It's real, like, it looks like a real photo, but like, to have that eye and to be able to tell the AI to give you this, that's genius. I think that's genius. And I like this weird shit too. Like, these crowds, I know that most people, what impresses me about these ones is that he can pull the camera back and he can look at the whole scene. Most people can't do that. Most people can't. All they get is just a close-up of someone's face, of a model or whatever. But to be able to create a whole scene, me and my friend called it world building. And that's hard. This guy right here too, he does a lot of crazy stuff too. I didn't find him until after I made my list, but he does some really creepy, crazy stuff. So, alright, see, most photos, even on this guy, most photos are look like right up face shots, close. But if you can establish like an environment, if you can create a world or an environment, that's cool. To get that action going on in the background, right? To create the environment, not just the headshot. That's creative. That's difficult. Most people can't do that. See? Like, you get stuck on, the computer just wants to zoom in on a person's face. Alright, hold on. I gotta pause. I gotta take a pee. Change my laundry. I need about 5 minutes. If anybody's there, gonna have to give me about a 5-minute break. So I'll just leave it on some pictures. Alright, and I'm back. Okay, so where was I? I was going down the list of inspirational artists on my page as I recount all my posts. Okay, so next on the list, and last but definitely not least. Okay, so I personally think that this dude is the most creative human being on Instagram. Why? Because he picked a simple yet creative topic to where he'll never run out of content and it's totally based off of his imagination. The Museum of Artificial History. So what he does is he creates animals that don't exist. It's that simple. It's freaking genius. He creates animals that don't exist. But maybe they did exist, in different realities or multiverses or whatever. But like literally, you seriously can never run out of content, and it's good. All right, it's amazing. Like this stuff looks real, right? You get to create creatures. Like you blend three. This is what Logan Paul wanted to do with his freaking NFT project. You get to just blend creatures together and make some really weird shit. Freaking genius, like on a different level genius. All right, it's you don't maybe you don't think so. I think they did a collab together. Like you don't think so. Like it's so simple, it just goes over people's heads. But like this guy is on a different level of creativity, right? It's such a great concept. All right, like I've always struggled with concepts for pages or social media or videos or whatever. Like this is it. This guy has it down. Like I don't know where he got this idea. I don't know. Maybe he works in a museum. I have no clue. Crested Okara copy, and you get to name him too. Freaking genius. Like what the fuck is this? Brown tiger xenoscorpion. I wonder if that's what he types in, like the prompt. That's freaking crazy. So my belief is that these profiles that you see, these are few of many. Like there's a couple. Like I'll show you my feed. There's some amazing artists, but these guys are ahead. Like they are of the top echelon, even though they don't have 1 million followers. Give them 2 years. That's all I say. Like, please don't touch the exhibits. Give them 2 years. They'll blow your stuff away. Oh, this guy's crazy too. Hold on. Honorable mention, all right? Just because I saw the name right there. Horrifying. Like, what? This guy must not sleep at night. Creepy. Nightmare fuel. Nightmare diesel creates nightmare fuel. Anywho. So, let me go back to my page. So, I digress from my tangent upon the tangent. So, my point was, after this post, I started to settle in like a personal style. Like I've decided more like I decided what my personal style was going to be. I decided that I like movies and I'm just going to create stills from movies that I would like to see. And the first one I experimented with was like a cyberpunk genre movie. So I even gave it a name and a theme. And the characters kind of evolved. Like I was still experimenting with prompts, so I would just write a scene from a movie, and it actually kind of worked. Like I got so much stuff that I couldn't even use everything. Like I don't know what it was. Like it didn't give me exactly what I asked for, but it did give me some stuff. All right, so I said a scene from the 2022 surreal futuristic cyberpunk film, A Replicant Love Story. A robot, a police drone, pulls over Akashi, the lead protagonist, for speeding in his Quadra Type 66 Javelina car. That's the car that you drive in Cyberpunk 2077. The robot officer slowly approaches the vehicle, while Akashi slowly rolls down his driver's side window. Tensions are high, and the chance of a gunfight or high-speed pursuit is likely. It is daylight, but the mood is solemn and somber. Akashi is dressed in a blend of cyberpunk Blade Runner fashion and avant-garde couture. Bright, vibrant earth tones, colors form the nomadic wasteland where the standoff takes place. The camera is shot from an over-the-shoulder perspective of the police drone as it walks up to the driver's side door of the car. A wide shot on location in Death Valley, California, using RFlex 35 IIC camera. So this is a tip that I got from one of those guys: is shoot, like, tell the AI exactly where you're trying to film it. So like you got to give it clues. Like I used the name Akashi, so it made the people Japanese. But also I did another one where I said filmed in Tokyo. I did a lot of them where it said filmed in Tokyo, and then all the people appear Japanese, and there'd be like Japanese signs in the background. It got the idea for the fashion. It took the fashion, and it took the dramatic lighting. It took the car and the two people sitting in a vehicle, but like that, and it also took a cop. Like at least one person is dressed like a cop in these pictures. All right, but it didn't get, like, I don't know. It doesn't do gunfights well. Like it does, but like I have another picture here. Look, I was very specific with this one. But I've seen some where people get it like posted right, like a gun pointed right at the camera. That one I've had a hard time recreating. But the best one that I got as far as a gunfight was this guy. And but my description, you know what? Oh, I just got an idea right now. Just to see, because my whole idea was I wanted to do the whole. I'm so stupid. I just did the hand. I traced around like you could see what I'm doing with my hands, but okay. I wanted this to be like a whole scene going on, but all it gave me was a close up on this dude because it loves doing close ups. But I just got an idea right now, so I'm gonna go on a tangent right now, and I'm gonna show you some tricks with DALL-E 2 because I really like that picture. What if I could expand it? So I got a commission from a friend, and I had to make a painting, and they wanted it to fit a bigger canvas. Ironically, I think they're going to just use the original and put it in a smaller canvas, but I had to extend the painting. So what you could do is you can use a generation frame for DALL-E, and you can just create more parts of the image. And sometimes you can tell, sometimes it looks like crap, and sometimes it looks pretty good. So I really like that image, but the thing about DALL-E is I've noticed that DALL-E has a filter for, like, so maybe, I don't know if the gunfight will go well with it. And you could talk to it. It's very smart. Like I could tell it like just what the picture is, or I could ask it to expand on the picture, and it'll get the memo. It'll understand what I'm saying. So this is a total tangent. I'm just curious to see what'll happen. So if I pick this guy, put him in DALL-E, let's go crop, edit the image. So let me zoom out, and then let me do add a generation frame. Let's just do right there, and I'll say action scene from a movie. Alright, so this is how I fix hands too. Wrong. Yeah, it did not get the. Here, I think I'm supposed to do it like this. Let me try that. I forget, because you're supposed to include it, and then it'll. So what I do is I erase hands using their eraser tool, and then you just put a frame over it. Kind of cool. Interesting. Creepy. Weird. Well, you get the idea. You get the idea. So let me try to tie a different font. I'll say Action Hero fires at bad guys. Because I'm trying to use my, like, I can't just say man fires gun because it'll say, oh, gun bad, so block or don't create it. So anyway, this is the best tool for fixing hands because, okay, so I know you've all, whoever's used Midjourney and made enough photos, you get like the best picture, but they'll have like 8 fingers on one hand. It's nice try. Okay, weird. Is the guy DJing? Alright, so it tried. Alright, I think this picture's a little too complex for it. Yeah. So, or maybe I gotta pick a better prompt. Let's just watch. Let's just try it. Man fires gun. One more time. And then after you erase the hand, you just throw one of these generation frames on it, and you type in whatever's in this, whatever the scene is. Man fires gun. And then you hit generate. This might block it, like, cause I know it's very sensitive. Like, so it cannot work on this picture because there's blood or whatever. The AI will pick up on it. There's the moderator. There's a moderator right there, bro. Put that gun away. Nah, almost. That looks better. I kind of like that one. What is that? I almost want to like download it just because it's fucking. It's like so stupid. All right, so I'll accept this one. Let's see if we can keep expanding. Man fires gun. Generate. Gun. Oh, nice. So look, let's see. Let's see. I do have comments. Let me see. I'm new to this. Sorry. I just cyber prompt. I see you. I just saw that right now. Like I have no idea what I'm doing. So give me a minute. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. So it says if you use some photograph with many people and add whatever you want, you will probably get a crowd output. That's a great idea. I'll probably do that tonight. So, let's see. And what's up? What's up, Zaned? Is DNL? Oh. What's up, Reverb AI? What's up, guys? I'm just seeing you guys in here. I'm sorry. I'm totally new to this. Yeah, I'll totally do it tonight. Tonight I'll make. Well, that looks cool. Whatever this thing coming out of his back is. So yeah, I'll totally make a prompt. I'll create something. So if anybody is new that just came in, what I'm doing is I'm taking a picture I created on Midjourney. Hey, thank you. How do you say your name? Zane D E N L. Zane. Zane. Zaned. Thank you. I appreciate it. So what I'm doing is I created this dope picture. That's cool. I created this dope picture. That's even cooler. So kind of like that one. And I created, so this is the picture. Literally, like that's the picture. And I'm just adding to it. Yeah. Zane, got it. Alright, so I'm adding to it. Like literally what you see in the box, the generation for that's the original picture. It was like this. And I created it on Midjourney. I was trying to make one where the guy's pointing the gun at the camera and it just gave me that. So while I was just going through my Instagram and explaining my creative process, I just got this idea. Yeah, yeah. So DALL-E's good for fixing hands. I don't know if you heard me say that. So let me show you an example. I'm on like 10 tangents, dude. So this is the original picture. So I'm just going with the flow. Please bear with me, guys. So first thing I did, if you look at the beginning of the stream, all this was all over my desktop. So I went back and I kind of like organized it a little bit. So post-apocalyptic 2, was it? Here you go. Yeah, look. That's the original picture, all right? Yeah, Photoshop, but it's not always, yeah, Photoshop's hard. So DALL-E does, what I do is I do DALL-E and then I do Photoshop after DALL-E because sometimes the line will be, I just have to hit the blur tool and just blur the line a little bit. But check this out. So this was the original. I did a guy covered in tomato sauce, post-apocalyptic, smoking a cigarette, right? And then this was what it turned it into. Freaking amazing, right? That's like exactly what I wanted. I just erased the hand and I erased part of the cigarette and then bam. So DALL-E's great for that. Like, I don't like it as a creative tool. I like it for fixing stuff. And right now I'm totally just expanding just to see like what'll happen. Like I'm pretty sure you have a limited number of generations or whatever, but I'm kind of curious to see how big I can make this. This picture is actually coming out pretty good. All right, let's see. Let's see. If you have any questions, what is? Oh, okay. So you see how I just created this weird? Yeah, it does. It really. So the reason it created a completely separate image is because I didn't connect it to this part. Watch. So I'll hit cancel. I'll move it up like 1 frame, and then I'll do it again, and it should work. It should extend that picture. Interesting. That's dope. Nope. No, not quite. Not quite. Where was it? Weird. It's like a guy doing flamethrower hands, doing a Kamehameha. Let's see. Let's try right there. I'll probably use this as my banner on my Twitch because it came out pretty good. It's having a hard time now. Yeah, it's a little confused now, but this is good enough. I'm very happy with whatever this thing is. So let's go back. Oh, hold on. Save image. I'll just put it on the desktop. My desktop will slowly fill up again. Okay, and then folder. Oops. All right. Okay, so anyway, leaving that. Alright, so this was when I was creating last night's posts. I'll get to those. So anyway, it's Hideo Kojima, it's me. Okay. Alrighty. So back to this cyberpunk thing. So anyway, my point was where I left off was it didn't give me exactly what I wanted. It had a hard time giving me what I wanted. But what it did do is it gave me something interesting, right? There was no gunfight, you know what I mean? But it gave me these movie screens. And that really gave me an idea of like, okay, maybe I should just make movie screens. I should make movies that I want to see, you know. So I don't know. These were like perfect to me. Like this is so great. Like you can't. What really makes me feel like it's perfect is like there has to be a cinematic, dramatic aspect of it. It can look real or surreal, but you know they got to have 5 fingers on each hand. You know what I mean? They got to have 2 eyes. They can't have a weird like 2 sets of gum lines. And these came out. So I didn't even like this picture at first because you see the top right here where her hair is going above the door line. I know I'm being like nitpicky, but that bugged me. You know, so I for a while I wrestled with that if I should post this one, but it was good. And also her eye, like there's like an extra little bit of information right between her eye and her nose, but it wasn't bad enough to me for me to be like like the picture was too good. Like it, you know what I mean? It's like a cop, a cyberpunk cop, and a weird lady in a car, which is kind of perfect still. And this one was just dope. I have so many versions of this one, but this one just came out like the cleanest. You got the futuristic supercar, and then you got the heroine with her weird cyberpunk headset on, and it just came out perfect. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you. And then this one, this was the second one I made. This one was really popular. So, okay, so this is the first time I got a warning of like, be careful what you type in because we'll ban you. And I used a very similar prompt. But what I said was I wanted like a sex bot, like a female sex cyborg, and a man, like in a dirty hotel room with a red light, and he's like putting his clothes on. But I did that, and it's like, hey, if you don't do that, because you know we'll ban you. And then I forgot, and I did something similar, so they banned me for 4 minutes. They said your account is locked for 4 minutes. I was like, oh shit, okay. So I had to rework it, and I took out the sexual aspect of it, but I kept the red light, and yeah. So you got the cyber lady, you know, she's got like kind of a robot neck thing going on, and then you got the guy in the background in his underwear. And it just came out perfect. Yeah, even flesh and blood is banned. Yeah, I wrote bloody moon and I got warning. Yeah, me too. I've wrote stuff that wasn't even like sexual or violent, but it had the word blood in it or like blood red, and then they like flag you. So what I put is blood. I'll get to it. I did tomato sauce splatter, and I saw some dude do that, but he wasn't using it well. He was making some really creepy weird shit. Like he wasn't using it artistically. But yeah, they'll warn for like all sorts of stuff. So next, this guy. This one, I have so many versions of this picture. Like maybe a little later I'll take you guys into because I need to clean up my profile, my profile feed, because there's so many just versions, it's just junk. And like it doesn't look like that. It doesn't look that interesting because for every interesting picture I get like this, I have like 20 or 30 that are just trash. So, but this guy, I did a like a futuristic cyberpunk, the same prompt. Yeah, but I said what I wanted was like a dingy. I was thinking like Judge Dredd, where he goes and he gets that robot from that. It's like a pawn shop, like a futuristic pawn shop, and that's what I typed in. But it gave me this guy and all these fucking robot parts. So the problem with this one is there's a couple ones where there's people in the background, or this is a little. I wanted the one to make sure it was like kind of strapped to him, like whatever the fuck this is, which I have no idea. It's like strapped to him, and then also I wanted him to look the way he does because there's versions where it's like a dude without glasses, or his fucking lips are off, or you know what I mean. Like it just didn't look right. But I literally, what I would do is I would make a version, and then I would make 4 versions of that one, and then I would make 4 versions of that one, and then I would make 4 versions of that one. This was before I knew what seed was. So I'm just literally burning through hours, fast hours, trying to make the same picture, and eventually they got it right or close enough. And honestly, sometimes it's like one of the first pictures, even though I make 30, it's like one of the first pictures I end up using. And this is another one. So I did two hitmen raiding outside a hotel room, and I like it's kind of like this androgynous girl person, you know what I mean, in a nice suit, and then you got the dude in the background. There's versions where like they're holding guns, but their fucking hands look crazy. So the reason I put 2022, I'll show you guys in my profile. So I have all these pictures that you've seen, like the one where there's the dude in the car, this one. I have all these pictures, but like for whatever reason, it did it like in like 1972. So I have like old versions of the same shit, and it looks really interesting. Like it might even be worth posting its own series, redoing the same cyberpunk film, but in a different time period. But I'll do that like later because the pictures came out really good. They don't fit because they're like old. And this is supposed to be a rifle, but it's not near her hands or anything. So I just thought it was weird that it's just on the person's chest. I just left that there. Like it's one of those things where like it's a mistake, but it looks cool enough to leave. And I think I look for those a lot of the times too. In this one, I've got a bunch of versions of this. I got versions where the car looks way better, or the guy's doing something cooler, but something's wrong. Like the person in the background has too many hands or some weird shit. But this one is just it kind of was dope on it hit every cylinder. And this one, oh man, I have so many versions of this. This, for whatever reason, it makes the cigarette come out of your nose, come out of your chin. The cigarette will come all over the place. Like it's so very hard to get the cigarette to just come out of like the person smoking. I thought that was weird. All right, and then same one. Yeah, we're back to the first one again. Okay, so after I finished these three, I cut them into a reel, and then I gave them a name, and that's it. And that was just extra content, right? Because I've all done it before. I went to Canva. I found one that I liked, and I created a cover photo. It took like 5 minutes. So the next, I was like, okay, I did three in the same series, and it looks cool aesthetically when I have 1, 2, 3 of like cyberpunk, and then 3 of like sci-fi horror, and then 3 of post-apocalyptic Mad Max style. So the next thing I did was, what is it? This one I called Airlock, and I was just going for like Alien. I was thinking Alien. So this is one of the ones where like the weird shit I could leave in. Like it doesn't have to come out perfect. The creepier and weirder it came out, like maybe an extra finger or some weird shit. Like I don't even know what the fuck I typed for this. Like vomiting up something, and it just came out with this. And then there's better versions, but I like that there's the fucking kid in the background in this weird thing he's staring at. Like it's just like it makes your mind like what the fuck am I looking at? So yeah. And these basic space ones, these are always good. And this is another one. Like I did like an alien coming out of a suit going into a guy's mouth, and it just came out with this, and it's so strange that it works. Like you're like, wait a minute, what is that? A suit, or is there an alien like eating him? And then this one too. So I have versions of this but this guy would have too many hands, or there was someone in the background. But this one, the guy looks like he's like a deer in headlights. The other ones, it's like a girl or someone looking more focused. But this one, this guy's hand was the best. This was before I used the dolly trick, so I just kept this one. Like it got the message across. I gotta keep liking these. Don't forget to go back. Okay. And this one, sometimes it puts like these weird logos in the picture. I don't know where it came from. Okay, let's see. The next was this one. So I tried to create an airlock where a guy was getting infected by something, but it kept putting the goo on both sides. But this one, I felt like I was really able to capture, like make it scarier. All right, like I think this one right here is a different rendition of this one. Like for whatever reason, it just went in two different directions, but it kind of had that alien vibe, so I kept it. And this one, So if you look, I probably have 30 or 40 versions of this picture where there's like a person lying on a weird bed, but it's like a half body, like they're already kind of messed up, and it's just such a screwed up picture that I left it. Like it works, it fits with the vibe. In this one, I just tried to do aliens and shit flying, eating people, and it came out real good. Another same thing here. I was making my like minor details to the description part, and then it was coming out. It likes like if you give it like an animal, like squid or tentacles or something, that'll really change the vibe. So try that. Be careful, because I did. Okay, so one of the weirdest pictures I've ever made was I was trying to do a ninja, like a guy in a restaurant, and then a ninja in the shadows on the ceiling crawling towards him. But I said a ninja crawling like a spider. So it fucking put this realistic dude eating, like it looks real, but there's this fucking giant spider guy floating above his head, and it's like horrifying. It's like one of the creepiest pictures I've ever met. But you know, I'll post it on my Interdimensional Cable channel. And this one, so whatever reason, I don't know why, but a lot of the times, like I have so many good monster photos, but it puts the camera, because I say shot in color using this, it puts the cameraman in the thing, so I couldn't use like most of them. So what I would do is at the very end I would put like a behind the scenes photo, because some of them were really good. The next one was this one. So here's a tip, guys. If you put titties for your first picture, you're gonna get like 30% more likes and views. So I put a woman. This isn't even in my best photo, and I have a bunch of photos of this with like the cyborg or the AI and then her. And there's a bunch of photos, but this is the most provocative one. So I used it on purpose, and for whatever reason, it blew up, and it's like my best performing photo. And I think that's why. She said I made a quick version of your reel. Hold on, guys. She made me like a post, like she made me like a legit advertisement for my Twitch account. What a nice person. She's great. Okay. I just lost a viewer. Okay, so next, this one. This guy's like half through the door. You can see right here, right? But again, it kind of fit the surreal vibe. So I'm really picky about that. Like if it can fit, then I leave it. If it can't, like if it's just too fake, like you know what I mean? Like even if it's a good picture, I won't. But luckily the weird, you know what I mean? Like this guy could be hallucinating. You don't know what the scene is from the movie. So I think about that a lot. And this one, these are just freaking horrifying. I don't know what I think it was when I was using the word squid, and then it was just creating all this weird goo and stuff everywhere. It likes squid, it likes tentacles, it likes directors, it likes camera types. And this is I tried to recreate that scene from Prometheus, but from the 70s, like where there's like a thing coming out of his eye, but it only gave me like a little dot. You know, like this guy's looking in a mirror and he's seeing an alien creature in his eye, like oh crap. And then this one, I tried to do vomiting an alien creature or whatever, and then the computer just went and did what it wanted to do, but it came out like really good. So, okay, and then this is another one, like the monster. This is like literally the type of monster I was trying to create, but it put the cameraman in there. I don't know why it does that. It does that sometimes. It doesn't even do it all the time. Like I have so many when I was doing the Genghis Khan series or whatever. There's tons of like really good shots with cameramen in there. And this picture belongs on Interdimensional Cable, my backup account where I just dump all the extra stuff because it doesn't really fit the vibe. But I just typed in Ripley doing a selfie with her bestie Xenomorph, and this is what it gave me. So. Okay, so after that, I was thinking, all right, what other movie do I want to see? So I was scrolling in the feed, and I found some dude doing post-apocalyptic, like he recreated Fallout, and he did it more like his looked more like a video game, but he had some really good scenes, like people pointing the gun right at the camera and stuff. So I was like, let me just see if I can make it that version, but let me make it darker. Like, who directed Mad Max? So I did a film still from 1984, 35 millimeter. That covers the camera. That gives it that older camera feel. And then George Miller, and then H.R. Geiger. This is what this guy used for the director. That, along with Fallout, and then Mad Max. Like, you're really giving it stuff to pull from. So if you can be very specific about, like, the directors of what you're trying to create, it really helps. So then I did the whole thing with the dog. Yeah, looks like my buddy's dog. Oh, actually, what I typed for here was a dude eating dog food, but it just came out with this. So these are fucking weird. Okay, so I tried to do a person covered in mud, so it gave me a fucking head in a shit bucket. So I took it. Alright. This one too, just fucking weird shit. I just tried to type in post-apocalyptic old people. And this one, she looks kind of video gamey close up, but just her sitting in a pile of shit, it just kind of worked. And then this one, I just typed in obese mother. There's some really fucked up ones. So I have a version of this where the lady's with her kids, but there's a daughter, and the daughter's pregnant. Like the freaking AI did that. Like a pregnant child with her obese mom. Yeah. And then, so what else? What else? And there was this guy. I tried to do a man kissing a mannequin, and it gave me this, and it was so weird that I kept it. This one is probably the most accurate to what I was trying to type. Like a woman firing a gun, like looks like a movie scene. Perfect. This literally came out exactly how I wanted it. And thank you. Thanks for the comment, man. I appreciate you. This one. So you see how they have a messed up hand? I fucking left it because it's post-apocalyptic. People are destroyed from nuclear blasts. It works, right? It looks like this person would have a mangled hand, and they'd be trying to hit you with it. And this lady, I have a bunch of versions of this too, but this is the one that came out the cleanest. You can barely see her hand. This is a bit, again, before I knew about DALL-E, and then it just came out really good because I probably would have just fixed the other ones. And then I did post-apocalyptic wedding, and I have a bunch of versions. Like this one and this one are the same prompt, but it just came out and got two different angles. So you got you got the procession, and then the lady with the fucking gun, and then you got the weird, like, this just really creepy stuff. I have some really good versions of this, but again, I didn't want to kick a dead horse because I already had two of them. And then I tried to do a Thunderdome vibe, but this is literally the best one that it would give me. It doesn't really like violence too much. Like, you got to be very creative when you're describing violence, because I think they have moderators that'll just. Oh, speaking of which, so I had a picture that I created of. I'll show you the 4 original. Here, look. Milk. Let's see. So I created the original picture. I tried to do a woman, a post-apocalyptic woman taking a bath in milk, or like lying in a giant vat of milk, just because it'd be fucking weird. And it gave me all these fucking versions, and some of them are so good, but I couldn't fucking use them, right? Like, so it gives me this shit, but I can't. If I go to the feed, if I hit this button and I go to open in Discord, the picture's gone. The picture's fucking gone. Like, the moderator literally fucking, like, this is the one I wanted to use. That one right there. This was the one I wanted to use. But the moderator fucking blocked and banned this shit. Like, it just deleted, mysteriously just gone from my feed. So, let's see. It just deleted. Whoops. Silence. Silence you. Okay. So, anyway, we'll go back to my feed later. Where was I? Bam, 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 bam. Okay, and then there's this guy. You got to get that hero shot. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe just because I think it was because there was women, like naked women in a bath. you know, it depends on the moderator. It wasn't the AI that flagged me. It was a human, like a person actually went in and did that. Like the moderator would delete it because otherwise I wouldn't be able to have those four like mock-ups. So this one I showed you already how it didn't. Yeah, it didn't really look sexual though. It really didn't. It really didn't at all. It's just late. Like they're fucking weird though. I get it. I think they were just scary. Like if a human saw this, like what the fuck is this guy doing? I think I just creeped him out. So let me see if I could pull it up. Post-apocalyptic 2. So this is the original. Oh, where'd it go? Yeah, I creeped the mod out for sure. So this is the original. I tried to do dude smoking a cigarette, Fallout, nuclear Fallout City, you know, covered in tomato sauce. All right, and for whatever reason, he's chewing on mushroom stalks. I don't know where the fuck that came from. So what I did is I threw it in DALL-E, and I deleted the tip of his mushroom. I deleted his mushroom tip, and then I deleted the flame. Or not, he didn't even have a flame, he had like a stick. I deleted the stick, and I deleted his fucking mangled hand, like up to here. And then this was like the second or first picture that DALL-E shot up. And I was like, oh, that's fucking perfect. I didn't even have to throw it in Photoshop, because normally you throw it into Photoshop and you clean it up a little bit. But no, I like it. It looks grungy. It fits with the picture. So there's that. And then this guy. So this is my favorite. Because I was really trying to go, like, they get, like, as you can see, like, the more I stay in a genre, the darker and crazier it kind of gets. So I have a bunch of versions of this where this guy has, like, giant earmuffs on. These cars look different. But this is the one where the guy is not the coolest guy, but the explosion looks the realest. And this car is, like, dope. Whatever this truck he's driving is freaking awesome. So I kept this one. And then I typed in like showdown between the hero and the villain or something, or final boss fight or something weird thing, and it came with this. There's like some woman with like armor on, and then this guy, maybe it's the guy with the cigarette, you know. And then there's this lady. This just came out like a clean picture. Like sometimes there's just good fillers, you know. Like if there's nothing wrong with it, I'll use it. And this is one of them. This one too. Like it just looks like a scene from a Mad Max movie. It looks real. That's why I kept it. And this one, okay, so this is an experiment that me and my friend were doing. So we were trying to, okay, so you know how if you type in 5500, it just gave me the picture of like the guys, like the old man or the woman with the pink stuff on her face. So if you give the AI a chance to be creative, it'll be very creative. But you have to be creative. So what I did for this one is I did the same prompt, 35mm film still from 1984 film Fallout. For the description, I put front row seats to the end of the world. Like that's it. That's all I put. And I got a bunch of like these. And it looked fucking dope. So this is what I typed in, front row seats to the end of the world, and it gave me this thing. So, hold on. Friend's calling. What's up, Tom? Hello?
Should I? Why did you hit?
Hello?
Hi.
Hi. I'm on Twitch right now. Hold on.
Live streaming.
I'm live streaming, yes, and telling people my creative process.
Oh.
Yeah. Can I text you?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
All right. All right. Bye. Okay, so let's see this one. I did like a guy walking in the middle of the desert. I have a bunch of versions of this, but this one, I don't know. I like that there's a little dot at the end. I have some really cool versions of this one too, but this one was my favorite. It wasn't necessarily the best, but it was my favorite. And this one, perfect. Monster creepy dude with a gun, came out perfect. Evil crazy witch lady. I got a bunch of versions of this. You got a little. They always put pasties on. If you get titties, they always add pasties. And this one, this guy had a fucked up jaw, but I can't even tell if it was supposed to be like that or if it was a mess up because it's like perfect, right? It just fits the Mad Max vibe. So this dude, this is literally, I did a guy covered in tomato sauce. And this is what it gave me. It's just horrible, horrifying, and perfect. So the next thing that I have is these. I did a Grand Theft Auto run. I was like thinking, what movies do I want to see? I did Fallout. I was like, so let me do GTA. So I did. If you think about it, this could be San Andreas, and then this one's Liberty City, and then this one's Vice City. That was what I was thinking. So this one I used some stills from the movie Heat with Michael Mann. All right, and that's what I used for an image prompt. Uh, I cleaned up his finger with Dolly because it was all fucking jacked and going in a weird direction. So I deleted it, and then it put in, you know, it's still a kind of a crooked ass finger, but I've known some old people with fucking crooked ass fingers like this, so it kind of worked. Let's see, and then so this, if you look from, let's see. Actually, I have the image prompt. Hold on, let me just show you guys. I used an image prompt in here, and then it gave me this picture, which is, I have a bunch of versions, but this was my favorite. And it's nothing super special, but it has a problem with like guns and crime or whatever. So, let's see. Right here. That one. I tried to recreate that. I used this as an image prompt, and I typed in the scene, and then it gave me this, which is literally, it was the best one that came out because it really didn't like that scene for whatever reason. It doesn't like putting ski masks on people. You know what I mean? Like, let's see. This one is actually from like a different time period. This is from a 1980s still, but it just kind of fit the vibe, so I kept it. This one, just a dead dude on the ground. I'd say tomato sauce spilled on the ground, man lying asleep or something or something. But it got the memo. And then this one, just a dramatic still. This one is one of those ones where it didn't get it right at all. I did like a man holding a woman hostage. And then, yeah, that's what it came with. This one, I did a guy holding a ring. This one I started to use Dolly because his fingers were all jumbled, so I just deleted a lot of his finger, and then I threw it in Dolly using the trick I showed you, and then this is what happened. I did Min looking at its schematics, and that came with this. And this is one of the first ones I made. I just tried to do cop lights, and I did the rear view mirror, but I think I've seen people do it. You have to specify center rear view mirror because otherwise it'll just do these ones. This one, I got a bunch of versions of this gun. You know, this came out kind of looking like a Walther PPK with his fucking fake money. And this one, so this is the first one. You could tell I made a mistake here, so I deleted, there was like an extra finger or something here, so I deleted it, and then I just clone stamped it. Didn't really match lighting, but it kind of works. And that's it with that one. Okay, so then let's move over to Liberty City. So that was San Andreas, and that was my thinking. I will just do each city. So this one was the first one where my friend was telling me to use smoke and haze, and then also a color scheme from AI Directress. I was trying to use a color scheme like she did. So, and also I tried to make a narrative. I tried to tell a story, but for this one, I tried to tell the story in reverse. Like the guy, so if you think of it in reverse, like the guy, he gets in a car chase, car explodes. If you go back one, he was loading money in the back of his car before the chase started. And then you go back one, there's a guy that's like a cop or someone that's following him, maybe like a dirty cop or something. And then before that, this is the heist where they're trying to so the robbery happens, so they're trying to steal the money, or they're trying to recover the money. This is when the hitman finds the guy's girl. This is the hitman in the same bar. This is the heist. These are the crew, right? And these are the cops. And this is the snitch. All right? I just did it in reverse. So if you look at it in reverse, it should tell the story. Anyway, and then I did, so the color theme there was what? Red and blue, cop lights. So this one I just took out blue, and this is when I first also stylized it down, because I was doing stylize 1000 and it was giving me like this fucking weird space trunk. So I did stylize 10 and it gave me like an older Crown Vic looking car. Alright, so this is when I first started stylizing down, but I would use smoke and haze, and then I would specify neon lights and color. And it was giving me this effect right here. And I felt if I used it on every picture, it would create a nice cohesive narrative. But also what I did do is some scenes it was good to take off the blue. Like if there was no cops, I would take the blue off. Or also when it's just the police, there's no color at all. Like it's flat. So, and then there was this one, which is Vice City, which was the easiest to do because everybody loves Vice City. So, yeah, pink. I did neon, pink, and turquoise. I typed in turquoise. And I have a bunch of different ones of these. I have one where there's a stripper pole. I have one where it's like a Latin lady. I have one where it's like a black lady. I have a bunch of different versions of it. And then I have a bunch of different versions of these where he's like just standing there. He's talking on the phone. But the problem with this is it was too complex. Like his leg would be in the car. Even on this one, I had to throw this one on dolly and fix his foot. Because his foot was like going out here. It was weird. Like he had an extra foot coming out of his side of his shoe. So I had to delete it and then dolly fixed it and it came out good. And this one, I just tried to do a sweaty guy sitting in a car, kept the same color theme. House explosion. See where explosions like this, like you take out the color because the fire is going to be the color. The light. It's good to specify the light source. And then this one, I dollied the hand because the hand was even though that's a shitty hand, it was shittier. And also, if you see this, then this means this is the dolly tag. I forgot to cut this out. So anyone where you see me do this, you can tell, like, watch this guy. Yep, see? I forgot to cut out the dolly tag. Alright, and this one too. His hand was fucking jumbled, so I deleted it, and then, yeah, fixed it. This one came out really good, as it is. This one came out perfect. I tried to make some bikers. And then I have a bunch of versions of these ones, but they look too like Need for Speed fake, you know? Like it would be daytime and it was a cool car, but the car's burning out and there's like pink smoke. It's like, but this one looks like the smoke's being lit by the lights. Okay, so now things are gonna get really violent. So this is where my next exploit was the tomato sauce splatter, which is the workaround to get blood. So let's see. All right. So yeah, I used a lot of image prompts to give an idea of what I wanted, and I feel like the AI learns. Like the more you feed it, the more you tell it to do, the better it'll get at giving you what you want. So I have so many versions of these to get it right. Like it took me a while to get it right. These sets were exhausting. And this one was the easiest of them. They got harder because I kept running out of ideas, you know? Like, so I'm trying to do a theme where I go like past, present, future, past, present, future. So this was future. Actually, this was future, this was present, and then past. So next will be future, which is this guy. So once I post all these three, all the different movies will be in a row. Like it'll be 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. So yeah, this guy. I did geisha with blood. I really wanted the geisha with just the red right here. But I don't know if that's China or something, but it just gave me that one, so I just took it. And I don't know why I put blood on her face, but I just left it. I try to do like a giant dude fighting against a soldier, and then just blood in the streets. And I don't know why this dude started looking like Keanu Reeves, but I kept it. Like he kept appearing in all the prompts. See? That one was dope. I don't even know what this was. It just came out perfect. See, there's Keanu again. More fighting in the streets, people with hatchets and stuff. And this guy's just getting obliterated. That's why I left it. And then the next one, I was like, okay, I went from Japan to let me do China. So I did China. Then China, they're not samurais, they do kung fu. So I did Shaolin monks, but I try to do juxtaposition between like peace and then like the fighting and the war because they're like deadly fighters, but they don't fight unless they have to. So I would do night peace guy looking at his shrine to like destroying an army of people and they're all afraid of him, and then like he's doing like a punch in this guy's chest, like blah. And then incense, I fixed his hand with Dali. And then this guy's just ripping people apart in the middle. I think when you do tomato sauce, sometimes it gives you a bowl. There's always a bowl or a plate. So that's how you know it's tomato sauce splatter, because it'll be like spilled tomato sauce. It has to come from somewhere. And that was their logic. Just a cool still. This guy getting his leg like destroyed. I don't even know what happens. He looked like he just got beat up and he's flying away. Like he's getting knocked off out of the way. And this guy, I fixed his hand. He's just doing a little pose. And a giant dude. I typed in a giant Shaolin monk versus giant man, 9 foot tall man or something. And this one I don't even know. This is one of the random ones that just came out really good. I think I fixed his hand too. This is another one that just came out really good. Sifu. And then this one was like, like after this one, I was like, okay, I'm done with blood for a bit. Like it was just so, because I tried to do Genghis Khan, but if you ever listen to Dan Carlin's Hardcore History, like you know about what the Khans did, what Genghis Khan and his children did, like they're really bad people. They were like worse than Hitler, and it's so violent the things that he did. So, but it's history. So I tried to stay true to it, and they have this relationship with horses. I tried to add that to create the juxtaposition between the brutal violence. And there was some stuff that I was typing in, like, here, look at tomato. Let's see. Sauce. Let's do sauce. No. Splat Mongolia. What do you got? I don't know. Anyway, well, my point is, I have some really weird pictures, like of like a dude where he's running. There's like an army, and the army's running, and one of the guys is exploding into tomato sauce. Like it's pretty intense. I don't know how, and then one of them is a split image, and then on the bottom there's that, and on top there's a guy. It's like a guy's head on a platter of tomatoes, but he's like coming out of the plate. It looks like he's sticking it looks like someone's head bobbing in a bowl of tomato soup, but he's like smiling. It's really crazy, and he got a little disturbing. I'm not gonna lie. See, look at all this shit. There's so much gore. Hold on, where's the weird stuff? See, look at field of gore, half a man. This one, what the fuck, dude? Like, whoa! Like they give you some weird stuff. So. I picked that one as my favorite. Man kissing his horse, guts, Chinese princess, people running in the streets covered in tomato sauce, Genghis Khan, man dying with his horse, defeated army, archer. Very strange. I don't know, like it was hard to get them to hold the bow right, but that looks like an archer, so I kept it. And then Genghis Khan. So for this one, I used reference images. I combined two images. I combined this one with a similar image, another image of Benedict Wong as Kublai Khan or whatever. And then here that brings us to the present. So this one, it's in the style of Ghost in the Shell. So I'm still trying to create narratives. I'm back in the future, so no blood, just weird hypermetamorphosis, aliens invading dystopian Earth. You know, simple fun. People love it. You know. All right, so I'm gonna take a break. I gotta go finish laundry, do some stuff, and then I will be back probably this evening to do when I work on a prompt tonight. So thank you for tuning in, whoever's there still. I appreciate you if you did stop in or if you're watching this in the future. It means a lot. So thank you.